We're here at Nuts Cafe waiting for the gold medal U.S. curling team. But in the meantime, I thought we'd talk to the second best curling team at the Olympics, or the second coolest team, shall I say, and that's the Norwegian team. Hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
You were saying that you know the USA team and the Swedish team very well. Like, is that because curling's kind of one big community and you guys just like are constantly playing each other throughout the year?
Yeah, curling is strange that way. I'm gonna make a long story very short, but this past summer, I went with two other members of the Swedish team to Matt Hamilton's, the second for the U.S. team's wedding in Madison with the whole Shuster team. And so like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months ago, we were fucked, all of us, in Madison. And now, 8 months later, they become Olympic champions. It's awesome.
What is your relation to the USA curling team?
Tyler George is the third. My girlfriend is his sister.
He's sleeping his way into the family.
Yeah. I mean, I know Tyler, the third for the U.S. team, grew up in the curling club in Duluth, Minnesota. He took naps in the sheet pans for they're behind in the kitchen. So.
What's that quote by Bane? He's like, "You merely adopted curling. Me, I was born in the curling club.
Yeah, exactly.
By the time I could throw a stone, it was as light as a feather." I don't know.
Exactly.
Can't really
That's
do the quote.
Exactly right.
Welcoming into the track from Duluth, Minnesota, the skipper, Shuster!
How rare is a 5-point end like that? Because that was incredible, and I've been watching curling for 6 months.
Yeah, they're pretty rare. We gave up one to Italy in the round robin, but it's funny that 5-point ends have kind of been my thing throughout my course of my career. When I won the World University Games in 2007, scored 5 in the final to win the game.
Are you like the cleanup batter?
Yeah, that's essentially what the skip is. But then Olympic Trials 2014, scored 5 to win in the game we won to get to the Olympics in 2014 against the Czech Republic. We scored 5. It's just it's one of those things, kind of a recurring theme, and it was pretty darn fun to get to do that in the Olympic gold medal match.
How much percent of a mental game and how much percent of a physical game do you think it is overall?
It's 50-50. Only because so much of it is mental, not because it's not physical. It's a lot of endurance training for it. I played a lot of sports growing up. I was never more exhausted at the end of a tournament than with curling. Baseball, basketball, soccer, everything else I played. Yeah. Curling was the most exhausting. It's the mental and the physical side.
It feels like you can get in your own head at times though too, and just be you got to be so focused when you're going down the stretch, releasing the stone.
It's similar to golf in that respect. Once you get the shanks in golf, you can't make anything. Same thing with curling. If you're off just a little bit, you feel like your timing's off, you can't make a shot. So that's something I'd compare it to probably more than any other sport.
Now, obviously, you guys had a rough start to the tournament. How did you get to that mental sweet spot again after being in a slump?
For me, basically just decided that, you know what? The Olympics isn't the place to
crack under pressure.
No, and that's kind of had been what America had seen as my history. Even though at World Championships I've always succeeded, but and after we started out 2-4, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna kick back, have some fun, let the game take care of itself, and holy crap, here we are, the gold medal hanging around our necks.
Do you think it was easier to have fun seeing these teams you were playing? You guys play all the time over the course of the year?
Yeah, I mean, we play fantasy football literally with 2 of the guys from the Canadian team that we played in the semifinals, and a couple of guys in the Swedish team were at one of my teammates' weddings, and all 4 of them would have been there had it worked out, financially and with their schedules. So, we're great friends with all these guys.
Do you think maybe the Swedish team spent a little bit too much time styling their hair rather than practicing curling?
No, man. Those guys, they're the number 1 team in the world for a reason. For whatever reason, though, that's over the last couple of years, they've had trouble with us.
Do you think the mainstream media is giving a little bit too much credit to Hamilton's mustache for bringing home the gold?
No. Hamilton's mustache brought home the gold. That thing is legit. Have you seen that duster?
I got to see him briefly and shake his hand, so I saw it for a glimpse. It was pretty impressive, but hey, your 5-point shot was just a little bit more impressive.
Well, fair enough. Maybe I stole the spotlight for him for a couple hours, but when at the end of the day, when all is said and done, Matt Hamilton was the rock star of the Olympics. He started with a 4,000 Twitter follow deficit to me at the beginning of these Olympics, and his goal was to pass me, and he passed me the morning of the gold medal games. Kudos to him and his phenomenal duster.
Mustaches will get you Twitter followers, but they won't necessarily win you gold medals unless you have a great team around you too.
Truth.
Is Vernon Davis the ambassador to curling at the moment?
He's a huge ambassador to curling. He's a guy who just tried curling back in probably like 2009 and just fell in love with the game and the people. And he's done everything he can to help promote our sport and to help bring attention to the sport of curling. And then he's attended now 3 Olympics that I've been at, and just came here and been a friend and a teammate and a huge promoter of the sport. And generally just having an athlete like that come out and support you and be able to bounce things off him has been pretty cool.
Now, I've heard he's kind of learned how to curl, but how about you? Like, say if you're like 9 beers deep, do you think you could still beat Vernon Davis?
Yep.
A bottle of vodka deep?
Yep.
Yeah.
If I can stand and slide, I can beat Vernon Davis.
Is it one of those things where if you're just playing for fun with friends, it's kind of like when you're golfing or beer pong, you have like a beer or two, it might improve your skills for a bit, but once you hit it like a peak, you just drop down?
I believe you're referring to the sweet spot.
Yeah, it's the law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, I think there's somewhere in curling might be a sweet spot. I know that my sweet spot is 0, but then my secondary sweet spot is about 3.
Can we end this interview with you just telling my friend All Business Pete that he sucks at curling and should stick to commentary?
Yeah. All Business Pete, my guess, if you haven't ever curled, you probably suck at curling. And
well, he has curled. He curled at Frogtown. Have you ever heard of Frogtown?
Oh, I've curled in Frogtown. That place, coldest curling club on the planet. Seriously, like what we're standing in right here, kind of chilly. This would be balmy compared to the Frogtown Curling Club.
He curled in Frogtown, had a clutch shot, and was going, and then forgot to let go of the stone.
Hey, All Business Pete. Thanks for all the commentary and coverage during the Olympics, but my God, are you terrible at curling. Stick with the commentary, baby.
Enjoy that gold medal.
Amen, brother.
Live it up. You made the United States proud, and I saw clips of people across the United States just raging watching that game that were just cheering your asses off, or cheering their asses off for your asses.
USA! USA! USA!
Yeah, it was pretty darn cool.
Thanks to you, we're gonna have 7-year-old kids, seeing you on TV, being like, "Hey, I want to grow up chucking stones."
I hope so. That's what we're hoping, man.
USA! 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 USA!